In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, truly and verily all praise is due to Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him and seek only His help and His forgiveness. We also seek refuge in Allah from the evil of our nafs. And again, the nafs is inclined to do su. It's inclined to do evil except by the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we seek that rahmah by obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. And we seek that rahmah by obeying the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Sunnah. Those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills to be guided to Islam and no one can lead them astray. And those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills to be led astray off the Sirat al-Mustaqim and no one can guide. And we see refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from that. We bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the one God who has no partners. And we bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the slave of His messenger, Amma Abba. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the best speech, the best hadith, is the speech of Allah in the Quran, and the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Sunnah. And the worst of all matters are those things that are innovated by the people pertaining to this deen. But all innovation leads to bid'ah, all bid'ah leads to dalala, which is more off the Sirat al-Mustaqim, and all dalala is in the nar, which is the fire. And we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from that fire with the best dua. There is no dua better than the du'as of the Quran. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Ya Allah, Ameen. We say, Lord, give us good in this life, and the good is called hasana. And give us good in the next life, hasana. وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Ya Allah, and save us from the punishment of the fire. Ya Allah, Ameen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses to be among those who are the sa'imeen. These are the ones that make sound. These are the ones who fast during the month of Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, today is the 4th day of Ramadan, and inshallah, it is being made easy for us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The fasting is not just about the food and the drink, but the fasting is about something that is internal. It's about your taqwa. It's about your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're going to read a couple of ayahs from the Quran about fasting. We're going to just talk about a couple of etiquettes about fasting. We're going to let you ask a couple of questions about fasting, and then we're going to go to Jews 4, the 4th Jews, and we're just going to read a little bit amongst ourselves and read some of these ayahs of the Quran so that we can get familiar with the Quran and be of those who read the Quran during the month of Ramadan, because that is the whole emphasis of Ramadan, trying to read. So inshallah, we're going to read a little bit, inshallah. The first, or the 2 ayats, or the 3 ayats, inshallah, that we're going to read is chapter 2, verse 183, 184, and 185. So chapter 2, which is Surah Al-Baqarah, and if you have been reading your juices every day, you would have been read these the second day of Ramadan. So chapter 2, verse 182, verse 183, verse 183, 184, 185. Inshallah, I'll read them in Arabic and then we'll read them in English and then we'll discuss them, inshallah. Verse 2, 183. Allah states, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. Allah states again, chapter 2, verse 183, 184, 185. Chapter 2, verse 183, Allah states, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, O ye who believe. And again, this is addressing the mu'mineen. This is addressing the believers, and don't strive to be of the mu'mineen, the believers. Ibn Mas'ud, he said, and pay close attention. But Allah states, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, O you who believe, fasting has been made prescribed for you. Kutiba alaykumus siyam. Kutiba means from the word katab, or means kitab, or a book, or something that has been made written for you, meaning that it is mandatory. Fasting has been prescribed for you as it was prescribed to those before you, those who were here in Juma. We talked about that fasting was something that was done by all righteous people of old. It was done by the prophets. It was done by Mary. It was done by Zechariah. It was done by the family of Imran. It was done by Musa alayhi salam. It was done by Isa alayhi salam. So we have many evidences that fasting is something that is done by all the prophets of old. So it's nothing new. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, so that you may be of those who obtain Taqwa. Now the word Taqwa is multiple times in the Quran. Taqwa, Taqwa, hudan lil muttaqeen. This is for the muttaqeen, so that you may acquire Taqwa. Okay? So the whole emphasis of Ramadan is so that you may acquire Taqwa. Ramadan is not just to walk around with a dry mouth and, man, I'm tired. Oh, man, I'm hungry. Oh, man, I'm thirsty. That's not the purpose of Ramadan, to walk around complaining all day. Okay? Ramadan is for Allah so that you may acquire Taqwa, so that you can acquire God consciousness, you can acquire fear of Allah, and you acquire humbleness. You acquire humbleness. When you're fasting throughout the day and you can't eat food or you can't have nothing to drink, but yet you're hungry or your mouth is dry, if you are a person who has some type of reflection, then this makes you think about the people out there who go through this every day. You see the people who drive right here down G Street. You see the people out there, they're sitting out there in the hot sun. It's hot out there every day. Some of them ain't got no shade for them every day. Right? They sweating, they hungry, right? They don't have the opportunity to eat, right? But when we go and we fast throughout the whole day, then iftar comes, and we have that opportunity to drink that water. We have the opportunity to eat them dates. We have the opportunity, even here we got strawberries and grapes and whatnot, and zoom zooms and wham whams, right? It tastes like the best strawberry you ever had in your life. It tastes like the best water you ever had in your life, because it should make you be appreciative. Right? The Prophet Muhammad said there are two great things for the fasting person. Number one, the iftar, when they eat, man, they're very grateful, and this is a beautiful blessing. And number two, when they receive their reward with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we was talking with some of the brothers, there is a gate in paradise called Rayyan. There's a gate, a special gate in paradise that's called Rayyan, specifically for the people who fast. And those who fast, alhamdulillah, they get to go through this gate, and it will not be entered by anybody but those who fasted. Another beautiful thing of fasting, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that fasting is a shield. And again, like I said, today's just going to be some baby etiquettes on fasting and some reminders about fasting, so we'll have some understanding about fasting. We'll know some of the blessings of fasting. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that fasting is a shield. It shields your nafs. Fasting is the thing that weakens shaitan. Right? When you weaken your carnal desires by fasting, it does not allow shaitan to flow through your body like blood. It says that when you fast, it constricts your vessels. It constricts it. When we're taught in the hadith, we said that fasting is a shield, that every day that you fast, you are removed 70 years away from the hellfire. Every day that you fast, you are removed 70 years away from the hellfire. Okay, this is during Ramadan as well as during a voluntary fast. Okay, but fasting, it will remove you, it will distance you 70 years away from the hellfire. 70 years, just fasting. So again, Allah says that fasting is a means of you gaining taqwa, and taqwa, there's many characteristics of taqwa. Taqwa means that you practice what you preach. Taqwa also means to watch what comes out your mouth. You're not just talking all the time. Like they say, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Fasting means, or gaining taqwa means, not cussing. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that he did not, or was not a man of cussing. He was not a man of foul language. Okay? It takes discipline in order to exchange those words that are filthy into words that are productive. One of the sayings of Malcolm X was that the reason why a person uses foul language because he's not intelligent enough to replace them with other words. This was a statement of Malcolm X. Reason why a person got to cuss, because he's not intelligent enough to replace them with other words. If you are intelligent, you can use non-abusive, non-cussing words. You can still make a person feel the same way if you know how to do it. You don't have to use those filthy words. Fasting or obtaining taqwa also means being generous, right? Giving from the things that you love. Just because you got it, and you're like, okay, let me get this dude $1. Let me go ahead and give him a crumb. Yes. But fasting means, or gaining taqwa means to give from the things that you love. I got 2 of these things. You ask me for one, I give you one of them. Or I got one of something, and then I give you half of it. Okay? That's giving from the things that you love. I got a $1 bill in my pocket. I just got it. Man, I want to hold on to it like it's, you know. But somebody asked me for something. Okay, you might ask me for 50 cents. I got to break that $1 in half, man. That's giving from the things that you love. This is taqwa. Taqwa doesn't mean you got it and then someone asks you like, nah, man, I ain't got it. Nah, man, get away from me, man. Get away from me. Stop begging, man. Okay, but you never know. That may be a test. Because you never know, you know, one day you might be in that situation where you need something. Right? That means one for your brother or one for your sister, what it is, what you want for yourself. When I was growing up, I used to always, you know, ride down these, you know, especially like Chinatown. My uncles, I used to ride with my uncles down Chinatown and G Street and whatnot. It wasn't like it is now. It used to be different back in the day, you know. And I used to ride, and I'll be like, man, I used to see people, you know, walking down the street and stuff like that. I'm like, man, what was it that they did that got them in this predicament? Why are they out there in the street? Don't they got any family? Don't they got any mamas or daddies? You know, I'm a young kid thinking this. Don't they got relatives they can go somewhere and sleep? Why are they on the street? And I used to always tell myself, man, I don't never want to be in this situation, or what was it that they did that got them in that predicament? Because there may be something that you do in your life, you know, something in your life that you may do that may make you end up or wind up in a situation. So I never look down on those people. Matter of fact, I always try to give something if I got something. You don't never know, they might be a test. They might be angels. Just you driving by, it's a test to see how you're going to act towards it. Right? Some of them, they'll tell you, man, I want money for beer. They'll tell you straight up. You know? But there are some people that might just be tested. It might be a test from Allah, not on their part, but it might be a test on our part to see how it is that we're going to be compassionate. As Muslims, we're supposed to be forgiving, and we're supposed to be giving. Right? Allah said that part of having taqwa, and those who spend or give from the things in which Allah has blessed them with risk. Right? So inshallah, this is the whole purpose of gaining taqwa. The whole purpose of Ramadan is to gain taqwa, is to burn. We read verse 184. Allah states, Abdul-Walee, observing fast for a fixed number of days. In Islam, we fast 29 or 30 days, depending on the sighting of the moon. But any of you are ill, if any of you are ill, sick, and the word is marid, or on a journey, mufassal, the same number should be made up from other days. So if you're sick, but you're going to get better later on, then you have to make up those days. Or if you're traveling, right, you have to make those days up later on. You take a trip out of town, right, you ride to LA or something to go to the Bay or whatever it is, because the Prophet also said it's not for righteousness to fast while you're traveling. When you're traveling, you can break your fast. That's the sunnah. Okay? Doesn't matter how short you go or whatever. If you travel, you have the option. Matter of fact, it's better to break your fast. Okay? But you have to make those days up. Whatever days that you traveled and the days that you broke your fast, not intentionally because you wanted to eat, but because you were traveling or because you're sick. Maybe somebody has to take insulin, or maybe you went to the hospital, you had to have surgery, or whatever it may be. You can make those days up. Okay? So again, Allah says, but any of you are ill or on a journey, the same number should be made up for those days. And as for those who can fast with a difficulty, meaning the old man, they have a choice either to fast or to feed a miskeen, a needy person, for that missed day. So there may be some people who may be old in old age. They may be old in old age, and it's difficult for them to fast. They have an option. They may be in their 60s or 70s or 80s or whatnot. right? We have an example of Anas bin Malik. He was in his 80s or 90s. He was very old, and so he would feed 30 people for 30 days, okay, because he couldn't fast. So he would feed somebody every day. This would be one who feeds the miskin. So the miskin, or when you feed the miskin, it means to feed them a certain type of meal that would be equivalent to just one meal. It doesn't have to be a big 6-course meal, something that you would eat. You know, a Happy Meal, a number 6, a Burger King $5 meal, whatever. You know, but you feed somebody one type of, or even if you make your own meal, you can make some rice, a spread, or whatever, something that you would eat, you feed it to the person for that day. Okay? So if you're old and you have difficulty fasting, then you can feed somebody a plate of food. But whoever does good of his own accord, it is better for them, and that you fast is better for you if only you but knew. So even if you have difficulty fasting, right? You're in the hot sun, man, my mouth is dry, man, I feel like breaking my fast. Yes, we have certain options, but the thing is that if we can fast with difficulty, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that's better for us if we but knew. Okay? Verse 185. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, the month of Ramadan in which was revealed the Quran. The month of Ramadan is when the Quran was revealed. A guidance for mankind and clear proofs for the guidance and the criterion, the Furqan between right and wrong. So the Quran was revealed during the month of Ramadan. So whoever of you sights the crescent on the first night of the month of Ramadan and is present, he must observe the fast that month. And whoever is ill or on a journey, the same number of days which one did not observe the fast, that he must make up from other days. Allah intends for you ease. And Allah says this all the time. Allah intends for you ease. You get the blessings, one, for breaking your fast because you follow the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in traveling and breaking your fast, you're following the sunnah. And then making it up, then alhamdulillah, you still get your reward for making that day up, inshallah. Alright, continuing. Allah says, Allah intends for you ease, and He does not want to make things difficult for you. He wants that you must complete the same number of days and that you must magnify Allah, saying Takbir Allahu Akbar, for having guided you so that you may be grateful to Him. And in this ayah, when Allah says, and say Takbir, or say Allahu Akbar, as He has guided you, this is pertaining to the ending of the fast when we're having the Eid celebrations. Okay, when we have the Eid prayer, we're supposed to be doing dhikrs, special dhikrs, before the Eid prayer. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Walillahil hamd. If you go to the Eid prayer, we'll say this, you know, we be humming, we be dhikring. This is a sunnah that was done by the Sahabas and whatnot, and this is a sunnah, inshallah, that we follow as well when we have the Eid festival. I don't know where they're going to have it today. We might have it at the fairgrounds, or we might have it at the Southern Arena. Okay, but this is what this ayah means. And it says, and give the takbir, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had guided you, because He guided us to this fast, and then He guided us to the dhikr, or the humming, or the chanting before the Eid prayer, inshallah.